Hello, this is David from DN Cognitive Counseling. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about what happened with Joe Biden and the fact that women have been coming out and talking about how uncomfortable they felt with certain things that went on. This is not a for or against video about Joe Biden, but this is a video about what it means to have appropriate touch and what it means to give consent. This is an issue that's been very complex and for a variety of reasons. Let's talk about a little bit about these situations. In all of the cases, Joe Biden was in a situation where he was, in his mind, being friendly and in public. He was being affectionate in a way that he thought was being appropriate. And in all of these situations, the women are stating they felt uncomfortable. And the reaction is to wait years and tell the media. I wonder if any of these women would have went over to Joe Biden and said, by the way, I didn't appreciate when you put your hand here, or I felt uncomfortable when you did this. I wonder what his reaction would have been. And I think that's part of the problem. We're living in a day and age where everybody wants to expound on their feelings and share them with the world. But what they don't do is appropriately express their feelings in a way to the person that's making them feel that way. In my office, many times, I will have a person that will tell me that they felt a certain way about something, and it gives me the opportunity to either say, no, that's exactly what I meant, or no, I'm sorry, that's not what I mean at all, but it gives me the ability to clarify. Other times, you'll have a situation where a coworker will go to a supervisor, and then a supervisor will say, we have to talk about this. And meanwhile, you had no idea what would even happen because the person never even gave you the chance to have that conversation. Sadly, our feelings do not create reality, but they are important to express to be able to set boundaries. It's irony that I'm up to giving affection in my parenting webinar, because when I discuss that, I'll be talking about setting appropriate boundaries and what the whole purpose of affection is in creating those boundaries. It seems that in society today, that's been lost a little bit. We don't understand where the appropriate boundaries are. We don't know how to express to other people how we feel. And then when we feel a certain way, we just assume that now we've been victimized, and it gives us the ability to then complain. I do think that it is imperative to teach our children and for ourselves to express to somebody when we feel they violated a boundary, be it a physical boundary, an emotional boundary, they said something that hurt us, and at least it gives the opportunity to be able to clarify, to be able to open up this, to have a discussion about it, as opposed to, I feel victimized, and then coming out years later and stating now how victimized I felt, therefore now this is a problem with that person. I understand that Joe Biden's reaction to physical touch is a little intimate for many people's taste. And it's everybody's prerogative to set their own personal boundary. Some women are going to feel like that was too much. Other women would feel that was absolutely appropriate. It's incumbent upon us to set those boundaries and to tell people. It's very interesting. I had a parent ask me a while ago and say that their mother likes to give kisses to their children, but the children don't appreciate the kisses. And she goes, well, what should I do? So, like most decisions, I don't make them. I help the mother to understand and articulate what were the parameters by which her value system and way that she saw things and wanted to instill in her kids. Did she want to give her children the sense of autonomy to say no to grandma and say, grandma, we do not want these kisses, and say no? Or did she say that children have to understand there are other people in the family and that they'd be hurting their feelings if that grandma couldn't give them a kiss? That sometimes we do things for other people because we love them and we don't want to hurt them. So it was to understand the dynamics was important. And then the mother came to her conclusion. And the reality is different mothers will come to different conclusions. I had 2 individual sessions on 2 consecutive nights. I'll never forget this, where a woman was telling me, I felt so violated. I went on a date and the man, and he tried to kiss me and didn't ask me my permission. And she felt it was an inappropriate aspect of that. The very next night, I had a woman tell me, I'm very upset. I went out on a date and the man asked me permission to kiss me. And I felt like it destroyed the mood, and I felt like this is like, what is this? And, I couldn't tell each other about about each other, but inside it was absolutely funny that in today's day and age, people don't know anymore what to do or not do. And instead of just saying, well, this is my way I feel about things and having a conversation and being open about it, everybody's trying to guess at something. And the solution is deceptively simple. Good communication, a good conversation about what's going on. What is the parameters that we set? When somebody violates our boundaries, we have to teach children and adults to say, I don't like this. I don't appreciate this. This is not what I like. You hurt my feelings. It gives the other person a chance to respond and make a corrective action. But that's not what's going on. What's going on is a lot of labeling and blacklisting and looking to tear people down. The reality is that people utilize behaviors and things for their agendas more than they're looking at it from the standpoint of what's appropriate and what's not. So I think that Joe Biden, at least from even his critics, talk about the fact that he was not a person that had malicious intent or malicious actions. Did he make people feel uncomfortable? I'm sure I made people feel uncomfortable in life. It's the nature of being human. The question is not whether we make people feel uncomfortable. The question is, what do we do when we're told about it? I know Joe Biden said that he's going to work on stopping to do the behaviors. And I think that's great, because that's exactly what you want. But I wonder if he would have done this 20 years ago if people would have told him, I don't appreciate this, or I don't like this. In his mind, in his mindset, he might have thought like, wow, everybody loves what I do and everybody appreciates my affection. And that's not always the case. There were family members that I remember who, actually there are still family members that I know who come over and give affection in their way. And it's like, I just eat it because I don't want to hurt their feelings, because it might make me feel uncomfortable, but I know it's important to them. And that's a sacrifice I've decided to make. And we all have to make those decisions. But it's disingenuous to character assassinate somebody based upon their emotional connections and giving affection. I hope you'll join me when I do the parenting on giving affection and discussing that. But I thought this was very important, and I thought this was a good opportunity to have this discussion. If you like this video, please hit like. If you'd like to subscribe to this channel, please subscribe. And if you'd like to become a patron, please go to Subcribe-star. The link is down in the comment section, and hit Subscribe-star, and please become a patron. Again, thank you very much, and I hope you found this helpful. And again, if you have a comment, please make one. If you disagree with me, please tell me why, and I'll be very happy to respond.